I wasn't saying that you didn't care. You could have played it like you knew the score.
So, on my mind is actually a little anecdote which I wrote in 2018. Found myself being an onlooker of a turbulent relationship between some friends who I knew, fairly closely, and ultimately and somewhat predictably the relationship ended in tatters. I guess the song is written from the perspective of the guy who I felt was living out his own self-righteous convictions and maybe had a certain level of emotional naivety. A few people have commented or asked about how the narrator kind of sounds like a bit of a douche, This is one of those songs where I didn't realise I was harbouring feelings about the situation, and unbeknownst to me, it was all bubbling up. And one day I sat down with the guitar and boom, there it was. It wasn't exactly my goal to portray someone in a negative light, but I think the role of an artist is to tell the truth, and I feel like telling the truth, can be sometimes raw or abrasive, but I just feel like it gives more weight and meaning to a song. It's actually kind of funny because I specifically picked On My Mind to finish first because it's not about me, and therefore I thought that it was gonna have less of an emotional load for me to, get the song finished. It turned out I was wrong, eh? Yeah. I think quite the opposite because, I don't know, you want to pay dues to the subjects of the tune and just make sure you're telling the story correctly to the best of your ability.
I wasn't lonely when you went away, and you didn't hate it when I did the same. There was a time I held the key to your heart, and times are only bound to change. You were on my mind. You were on my mind. You were on my mind. If only for the moment you were mine.
I feel like it's kind of cool though the way it worked out, because I feel like the visual narrative that's portrayed in the lyric video weighs in on the feelings and the experiences that the other half would have felt, the female half. That side of the story, the frustration and the sadness and the support from the family and friends, and I suppose ultimately working through all of that mess and finding a way through it, finding a way forward. And it's cool. And then I think I underestimated the song musically as well, because if you heard my demo compared to the finished product, it's the demo is real basic. The finished record ended up being a lot, there's a lot of instruments involved. There's just a lot of mechanics to the way that the song turned out.
I wouldn't change the fact that I need.
Yeah, when I was writing On My Mind, I guess my references, it was a pretty small group of references. 2 songs from Emily King come to mind. Georgia, and Down, both from her record called 7. And then David Ryan Harris, I think his first album is called The Bittersweet. And there's 2 songs off there called For You, and another one a lot of people are probably familiar with, at least in Australia, called The Sweetest Berry. And then much later on, years later, when I was sort of getting the song ready for pre-production, I heard that song from John Mayer called Moving On and Getting Over, and I loved the way that the outro took off. It just sort of kicked in. Steve Jordan kicked into this thing, And the outro sort of like took off into a whole new level. So that's where I got the idea for the outro for On My Mind. And then I guess, you know, Stevie, man, like Stevie Wonder, his vocal ad-libs. I was just trying to do that. Just trying to have my crack at, you know, at what Stevie does so well. Also have a reference playlist on my Spotify artist page if anyone's interested, called On My Mind Mixtape. Yeah, if you want to check that out and sort of get into the mind of the song.
Where should I begin? You on my mind. You were on my mind. You were on my mind. If only for the moment you were mine. You were mine. You were mine. If you were mine.
I first took the song, I was talking to Declan Kelly a fair bunch. For those of you who don't know, Declan is an amazing artist, amazing drummer, amazing vocalist, producer, engineer. He owns a studio in Surrey Hills called The Nest. So I took the song to him, and we basically rebuilt my demo. Just had all my demo stems, and, you know, we hit mute on the drums. Declan jumped on the kit and we worked it out. Adam Ventura rolled in a couple of hours later, laid down his bass part, and then Shannon Stitt did the same thing. And then maybe the following week, I took the session to Shannon's house, where we laid down all the Hammond organ parts. So originally I had a slide guitar part, which only featured in the middle eight, that instrumental breakdown section. You know, it was just me going back and forth. I can't play slide. It was just me playing slide guitar. And we're sitting at Declan's studio one day, and said, how are we going to do this? And Declan said, what about Ollie Thorpe, who had only just recently, he'd been putting out these clips of him playing pedal steel. And some of them, like, man, I thought were just magnificent. So we literally, I think Declan called Ollie then and there, said, hey man, we're in the studio now doing Mike's tune, can you come by? And he said, yeah, I can be there in about an hour. So he rolled through, and he did his thing, and we ended up just getting him to play through the whole song, and I'm pretty sure we used all of it.
You on my mind.
So fast forward to 2022, post-pandemic. A studio run by a wonderful guy named Gareth Hudson in Newcastle called Hazy Cosmic Jive. And we had Daniel March come by and drop in some nylon parts, nylon guitar. That main nylon part that you hear throughout the whole song. And he also did some of those electric guitar parts. And what else we did? I did my vocal parts at Gareth's as well. Some of my vocal parts, and also did my acoustic guitar parts that feature in the bridge and the outro and whatnot.
You were on my mind.
Fast forward to 2023. A friend of mine has a studio out in Riverston, Schofields area, around the corner from where I grew up, and we did my final vocal part there, and then we called in Ricky Nefo and Leroy Jones, who added that final sparkling touch on the BVs from the outro onwards. And we also mixed the song with Saul. We sent the song off for mastering at Sterling Sound States. Okay, fun fact about the song. So, sometime during 2018, I got a call one day from a friend of mine, Eric Fortaleza. Called me and he says something to the degree of, Mike, David Ryan Harris has a show tonight at the Vanguard in Newtown, and he needs a guitar. Something's gone wrong with his guitar. He needs a guitar. Can he borrow your 808? This one here, which is that one there, which is my workhorse. That's my axe, right? So to which I said, of course, brother. So Eric went by the house, picked up the guitar. I think I got a free ticket out of it, and went and watched David Ryan Harris like just kill for like 2 hours straight. Just him and a guitar. He's playing my guitar. And you know, like, man, everyone was like, Guy Sebastian was in the room. Like, it was like every singer-songwriter out there was in that room, and we were all just like, it was just a masterclass, man. Like, bordering demoralizing because he's that good. So the next day, I open up the guitar case and I take out the guitar and I go to give it a play. It feels a bit different. I figure out that he's detuned the guitar to E flat, a semitone down. Oh, that's cool. So I left the guitar there, just thinking I want to be like David Ryan Harris because he's one of my heroes, you know. And I left it tuned like that, and that is the reason why On My Mind is in F sharp and not in G. Yeah, this is my first serious attempt at producing a song. And you know, it's another reason why I picked On My Mind to do first, was because I felt like it was something I could pull off. I could pull off this tune and do a decent job at it. I hope. I arranged the song myself. I mean, I wrote the song myself, and then I arranged it and I produced it. You know, I sort of oversaw the whole project, and I mean, it included what we used, like 7 musicians, not including myself. Plus, you know, I guess Declan's an engineer as well, but like 3 different engineers, 3 different recording studios, and on top of that, mastering, but just coordinating the whole thing. Yeah, it was great, man. Like, it was, you know, stressful at times and trying to just pull it together, but I gave it an honest crack, and I don't feel as if it's perfect. Like, I probably could have worked on it for another year if he let me, or if my wife let me, but that was not going to happen, and we needed to get it out this year, 2023, because it was meant to be out in 2020. The cool part about it was that, like, I literally got to have all of my favorite musicians play on this song, man. Like, all the band, like Declan Kelly, Adam Ventura, Shannon Stitt, Daniel March. These guys blow my mind. Like, when I go to watch their gigs, when I go watch them play, like, I can't believe I even know these cats. So it was the bomb to have them play on my song. And then, like, Ollie Thorpe's another one where, you know, you see this dude do his thing. Just like hard to comprehend for me how good some of these dudes are. Like, you know, Ricky Nefo, Leroy, man, these guys are such amazing vocalists. Like, it was just dope. It was dope. One word to sum up the whole process of producing, arranging, and writing this song is dope. It's been a blast, man. It's been an absolute blast, and looking forward to the next song, which was actually quite the contrary, as you're gonna see. On My Mind, like, was sort of like my whole project, and it's kind of cool because the next song I'm putting out is a co-write, and I employed a producer to help me get it over the line. So it's gonna be, it's a total different vibe. It's a total different vibe, and I'm just as excited about it as I was this project. So I'm keen for you all to hear, and keen to keep them coming. Thanks for listening, everyone.